We are red, red is on.
Good evening and welcome to Thursday, November 15th, 2018 Selectmen's meeting. First thing is the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Come on, Chip, where are you?
Tonight we have a short agenda and it's probably good because a big snowstorm coming. New Public Works Director's first snowstorm. Kevin is coming in 15 minutes to give us a report.
Who is?
Kevin, DPW report. Is Kevin coming in for that one?
He is, and Tim will also be here with them.
Kevin will be here with him.
That budget, going over the budget?
Yes. Just so you know, the packets in front of you are the health benefits enrollment, open enrollment, for you who are interested. Anybody who's interested and wants to participate, if they could get the forms back to our office by no later than December 7th, if they want their cards by January. You do have a copy of the town administrator's report in your folders. The only item that needs action is the last paragraph.
Do you want to take care of that now? Do the town administrator report, everybody okay with that? Sure.
Haven't read it yet. I haven't either.
Can you reuse this information?
Let's see.
I had it short.
His first thing, Ron Belanger, she spoke about the floods at the senior center. He wants to do the work and it'll be done within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Heard that before.
About 5 times.
This was a month ago.
We've heard it about.
I'll call him at the end of the week, make sure he's on track. Spoke with Josh and JP Carter, and updating estimate for flooding for the 2 trees at Best Park Park. Glenn Waring, one of the Belknap County Commissioners, agreed to come to a selectmen's meeting for last week's conversation. I'll invite the other elected officials. Expect this to be in December. There's something about Kevin, and he can get into that about maintenance items with the park. The other one was, well, we can see if we approve John Radigan as an attorney.
Yes.
So why don't we do that? Is everybody okay with approving John Radigan as attorney for the 5th bullet?
Yes.
I am.
She has reason.
It's more than the 5th, John. We have another page on the other side.
She has reason.
You just read the second half.
Read the second half.
But
It's like
I'll make a motion that we use John Radigan for the litigation with the tax appeal with Lord Martin
Motion.
and Coles.
Joe, you want a second?
I will.
And we have a second from Joe. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? So moved. Unanimous. Looks at health benefits enrollment. I'm back on the front page. Only one session was done at PPW. PD was canceled due to no one signing up to attend. To be available for any employees. Open enrollment began yesterday, which would be 14th and ends on December 14th.
Can we go back over that one, that Riverfront Park maintenance? Can we get the list, that list that is being referred to as dated 6/18/15? Because that was an idea list from.
That list is
Dennis, right?
now basically gone.
No, she's got it.
It's
but-
got a copy
Well, no,
right there.
it still exists, but I met with I was part of the meeting downstairs,
Yeah.
as it says.
Yep.
And our public works director created his own list. He went through the park and created his own list of maintenance items. Instead of working off,
All right, Mike, could we see that list of maintenance, what we're gonna be doing at the parks with the public works?
The new list.
I don't have to have it tonight.
no, our
But I think
director's
we-
here, so I'm sure he can
Yeah.
supply us
So
with
we'll talk
whatever you
about that
like.
when Kevin comes up.
Yeah,
I just wanted you to know that that one's now obsolete,
got it,
because he's taken the initiative and created a new one.
typical, great.
Let's see, Trail Advisory sent out an email to set up the first meeting. Discussing the property, wait for response from Primex, follow up on Monday if I revert back. RFP for Academy Street has been sent out to 4 engineering firms, Novus, Underwood Engineers, H.L. Turner, CMA. At the NHMA conference yesterday, our town administrator introduced herself to the last 3 firms and met with 5 more firms, which will send out RFP. In process of scheduling a meeting with New Hampshire DOT, NHDES, Mr. Cropsey, to resolve repair of True Green accident. Confirmed with Kevin the signs that were purchased met the mandated standards and assured, also asked Kevin to assure windows upstairs in the town hall are closed for the winter. Kevin to review trench ordinance. We'll discuss this when he steps up. Tax bills went out due to coverage schedules. I chose not to do a newsletter for this tax bill. We'll do it in June. So that's the administrator's report. Not be here.
I did.
I have a correction.
Okay.
I have a correction on this. On the back page, spoke with Josh, the J.P. Carter is updating estimate, include lighting for the 2 trees next to West Pocket Park. It's actually the 2 trees next to the sidewalk at the Tilton House of Pizza parking lot. There's already electricity in West Pocket Park, so we don't need any more added.
I think I noticed going into town the other night, there's 2 light bulbs, 2 light lamps out at West Point.
There's 2
Yes.
lights at
2
West
out,
Pocket
2 on.
and 2 dimming.
We don't, 4 is an overkill there.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you, state of New Hampshire.
Huh?
Thank you, state of New Hampshire.
So are they off on purpose?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But the other 2 lights looked like they were, does it take a long time for them to come on?
Depends on what type of bulb they're using. Isn't the
Halogen
sodium
takes a
ones
while.
those are the ones that have to heat up, aren't they?
That's
Well,
one.
it was 9 o'clock, so.
Oh, no, then they should have been, were there any on, Catherine?
There were 2, but they
Yeah,
were,
that's,
they
I think
were
all we have
yellow.
on.
They were almost orange. There was no real light coming from them. So I
Well,
didn't
they're
know
ornaments, pretty much.
if the bulbs were going or what. I don't know. if
They're lighting that little sidewalk inside the park.
No.
So we can,
Okay.
there's a sidewalk there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
inside, yeah.
Nice little sidewalk. Not very long, but.
Will you make sure that?
There's everything in that park.
Yes. You should remember.
That takes care of that. That's the town administrator's report. And we'll run a little early, but we can have Kevin come down, if everybody's okay with that.
For me.
Come on down. On the eve of the first snowstorm. Sure. Well,
Howdy.
what's going on?
Going on. All kinds of stuff. Well, I won't apologize, I did get my report out, but it's late. Can you hear me now?
You did get your report out? Oh,
Yes,
it's
it was-
emailed?
Yes.
Okay. Got it?
I can't open up any attachments.
Can you just give a
Sure.
synopsis of it?
Yes, we, first of all, last week we installed that chain link fence at the True Green accident site on Thursday and Friday. Made it a lot more secure for residents not to fall into the river. did final preparations for the snow removal operations this winter. We had some lights that needed addressing. Some plow trucks just needed to be serviced and gone through, and just final preparations. Make sure that they were ready to go for the storm. I didn't want any mishaps the first storm. You know, it always happens. You know, we take the plow truck out and the sander's not spinning, or it's not turning, or the plow's not operating properly. So we just did final preparations for all of that. We did pick up the sleigh today that was donated to us from Concord Christian Academy in Concord. That's sitting on the trailer in the back lot, covered with a tarp right now, ready for use when we need it.
What's the condition?
It's in good condition.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not beautiful, but it's a working sleigh. I mean, it's, for a prop, it's going to be perfect. I would recommend attaching a horse and towing it, but we can put somebody in there and hand out toys or whatever. We did have some icy roads this past week that we needed to spot treat. We had some residents that felt it was necessary to pump out their basements onto the street, and I simply knocked on the door and came up with solutions for them to stop doing that. And then we treated the ice accordingly. We had some trees that we needed to take care of as well up by the Veterans Home that fell into the roadway. Let's see, we hauled some more winter sand in so that we could stockpile for that. I ordered another 60 ton of salt for next week to be proactive, and we don't know what's going to come up next week. We do know that there might be a storm coming in on Sunday, Monday. We do have enough material for that storm, but going forward after that, I needed to make sure we had some more in the barn ready to go. I'm not sure if you're aware, but I made some adjustments with our current storage, and we can now store approximately 230 ton of salt along with our safety.
Both styles of sand, the mix and the straight?
Yes. So I think we're in good shape with that way. Myself, I did, let's see, it's hard to keep track of all of it. But I did replace the rack and pinion steering assembly in the 13B car, which is the SRO car. That was $600 after the core returned. It was about 3 hours later. We did fluid film as a rust preventative on the 4B, 6C, 10A, and 6B. We also did an LOF basic service on the 6C and 6B. Apparently there are numerous calls for detail work this next coming month, and we made sure all the detail fleet was ready to go. And as I'm getting vehicles on the lift, whether it be police vehicles or DPW vehicles, I am fluid filming everything, just to keep rust at bay. We have quite a bit of it stockpiled in the storeroom, so I'm using it up, putting it to use, so hopefully we can add some life to these vehicles. Let's see. I was able to contact Morton Salt and get our contract solidified with them. Somehow the ball was dropped prior to me, and I was able to rectify it. It'll be about a 4-day wait, but starting next week, I should be able to utilize them as well for salt.
So right now it's just Granite State?
Just Granite State Minerals, which have been wonderful. I call and they're right on it. So we got that squared away.
Is there a difference in rate?
No, still 56.50 a ton. Let's see here. A big one that happened last week is I met with the Cintas rep, who's the uniform company. In my research, Cintas company is the only one that can outfit all of us in the same clothing. every other company out there that has uniform service, laundering and mending. I have one employee that requires a larger set of clothing. Cintas was the only one that could outfit everybody without putting that one person in a different set. So I thought that was the ultimate choice. I wanted everybody to look the same. In doing so, I did some research and found that Cintas offers a uniform that has the high vis built right in it. And it meets the ANSI requirements for us to be working on the road. So the estimate that I had gotten was for that high vis uniform, and it equates to $68 a week for everybody to have this uniform service, and it's roughly $3,200 a year, which is great. So I went ahead and signed the contract, got everybody sized, and set up. We'll have our uniforms in 5 to 6 weeks. I tried to put it to expedite it so that we could have them for the Christmas parade before Christmas, so that everybody could look good. Once I have everybody outfitted the same, I was going to have all the trucks set up at the shop and take a picture, post it in the paper so that everybody sees us in this new uniform. It's been a while since the picture's been done, so I thought that it would be something good that we could circulate out there. And I've been working with Jeannie on coming up with a mission statement that maybe we could have built into a sign that we could hang on the highway garage, just the residents, when they show up, they can see that we're trying to push forward, we're trying to make the whole department better. So yes, that's about the gist of this past week. Been busy.
So the uniforms, are they jackets as well?
Jackets as well. 2 jackets and 11 pairs of clothing.
Winter and summer?
Yes, short sleeves and long sleeves. Since they incorporated the high vis in the uniforms, I worked with Tim and we took some money out of the safety line, the place where the vests and things were coming from, and we added that money to our uniform line. It just seemed logical to do so. Why have so much money in the safety line if it's already being established in the uniform line? So that way my safety line can be for safety glasses, work boots, safety related. So yeah. Any questions?
Where's the safety line? Am I missing it every time I look?
It's in there.
It's there.
Who would read it?
It's 2 from the bottom.
770?
Safety.
Oh, I did miss it. Thank you.
Speaking of signs,
Yes.
the transfer station sign, I think it's 2004 vintage.
Yes, that definitely needs to be updated. Yes. Very much so.
I mentioned it to your predecessors, I guess.
Yeah,
It
no,
was high priority.
All of,
all of my signs need to be.
all of the predecessors.
Yeah.
I have quite a vision for the transfer station and how we handle our solid waste, which will probably take another meeting.
No, I was gonna say, don't tease me, man.
Question for the finance officer. Looking at highway radio communications,
Oh, can
We
we
go?
budget now?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'm going from 500 to 1,500, and you're saying it's a 200% increase?
$1,000.
Well, if I'm going from 500 to 1,500, isn't that a 300% increase?
Well, the increase being $1,000. added to the 500, to 1,500, so,
But if I talk my existing, it's gonna be 300% from what the existing is.
right, right.
You're just saying it a different way to cut the percent increase.
Well, no, not really.
The old figures lie and liars figure.
No, all the percentages are figured with the same formula. So it is the change in dollars column as a percent of the selectmen's base. So in other words, the $1,000 being double the $500, that's the change as compared to the $500.
See, in school, we teach new minus old divided by old, which would give you 300%. That percent increase, 4% mark, I'm sorry.
Under the uniforms, are you in, the $4,500, is that boots as well? Is that why it's $4,500? Or, because you said it was around $3,200 a year,
Yes.
and you're putting in $4,500.
When we figured the budget, I averaged what was paid in the past on a yearly basis
For boots?
for uniforms.
Oh, okay.
And just recently within the last week, came up with the number because of the Cintas quote.
That's
$4,500?
So that's gonna go down.
That's gonna go down drastically.
Oh, so the $4,500 is
That was
gonna go
figured,
down.
that was figured a couple
Got
of
it.
months ago. And then the,
So this is what we're getting, this is gonna go down. Okay. But don't we also have to include their yearly, their yearly stipend, I guess, for
for
boots?
boots, the boots I would like to keep, I would like to take out of the safety. Because
Okay,
it's
got it.
personal protective equipment.
Good, yep. Got it.
And the money that's left in that
Mhm.
safety item is enough to cover the boots, safety glasses, in our hands.
So,
And everybody has been issued a pair of chaps for using a chainsaw,
Mhm.
and they have the names on them, so they are issued them.
So every one of them has got a set of chaps?
Yes,
Is every one of them going to use that chainsaw
Yes.
over time?
yes.
Okay.
They're
How much
all-
are the chaps?
What's that?
How much were the chaps?
$100,
So $500, you got one for yourself,
yes.
$600?
I didn't purchase mine, I have my own personal.
No. Oh, you guys got his own tools.
so did I just hear this $4,500 is not the actual figure?
That will go down, yes.
When will it go down?
It could go down right now. Because
How much?
My quote is $3,200 from Cintas.
Okay, I didn't hear that.
Yes. The $4,500 was figured from past, when I was working with him on the budget a few months ago.
So we want to do 3,200
Yes.
safely, we want to do
That is,
3,200?
that
Because
is.
that's all that's gonna go in that line is that.
Exactly. In 1 year, the contract will increase 5%, according to the Cintas report.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's just say that all of a sudden we had a change of employees in public works. It could happen, who knows?
Sure.
That individual has uniforms,
Yes.
which in theory would go back to the company. Is there a re-outfitting fee? Maybe there's different sizes, now
There
we
is
gotta
no
pay.
fee, there's no fee for size adjustments or outfitting and swap out an employee. Exactly, if you swap out an employee, there's no.
What if you put on and,
Put on
If
your
you add,
part-time.
yes, it's,
not that I envision that necessarily, just,
it's peanuts.
it would be just that much
So
more.
let's rethink this, because at one point in time, there was a vision, I'm not saying that it's gonna happen, but there was a point in time that there would be a seasonal person put
Yes.
on. Are you including that season in that
was not
figure?
included in that figure.
So maybe we need to rethink that figure.
Why would we provide a seasonal person who's seasonal part-time with a uniform?
Is he
Are they a
part-time
public
summer
works
as well?
employee?
Yeah, if they're a public works employee and they're gonna be out there
Well,
wearing the high visibility, or come up with some alternative, you need
Which
to
would
come up
be a
with.
vest.
Right,
yes,
you could do that, sure.
We have a stockpile of,
Yeah.
as,
You could do
The
that.
seasonal part-timers do not stick
Or a
around.
t-shirt.
no,
One of
Not
the-
generally, we switch them out.
Yeah.
yes, or I
Sometimes
have one
doesn't
person.
care.
No, they don't care.
But you're looking at somebody for 30 hours a week potentially, so
Yeah.
it's somebody that should be around here.
Well, also just for the ID, and he looks the same as everyone else, there's no question. If I have a different style uniform, is he really an employee, or is he someone trying to impersonate one?
Sure. I'm gonna say the logo that Cintas came up with is quite impressive. I'm anxious to get it all together and presented.
I think that you need to think about, me personally, I would like some board and Tim and you to rethink this about the seasonal employee. Do you or do you not want to? Is it necessary to outfit, not a full outfit, but at some point in time, look reasonably?
I could talk to the Cintas rep and see if there's an adjusted amount of clothing that I could do with, maybe instead of 11, have
T-shirt and a,
six
right.
pairs that he could be on rotation with. Yeah,
Just
exactly.
Was it the same rate, summer, winter?
Yeah, it's
It's a weekly-
It's just a weekly cost, yeah, so it doesn't matter whether it's winter or
Right.
summer. Ultimately, I don't foresee using part-time this winter.
Yeah.
Or,
I
you know,
didn't
this
think
summer.
you did, but I thought for some of you might. Unless you
After
don't.
working with the guys for the last month or 2 months, they've really stepped up. Everybody is really pulling their own weight and thinking ahead and being proactive with everything that they're doing. So I don't foresee needing that 6th person to fill the void, because everybody has stepped up.
Has everybody got their CDL now?
We don't.
No.
We only have 2 CDL trucks in the fleet out of 6.
Yes,
And how many CDL licenses?
myself,
John,
John.
John,
Robert,
Peter,
Peter.
No doubt.
And Wyatt. Did Wyatt get his
No.
fully up?
No, why doesn't it?
Rob is not legal to drive either.
Oh, he's still automatic?
Yes. My, what I need to say should be in non-public for that, okay? So maybe we can do that at the end. There is a thought process with that I need to share.
Okay. What was your anomaly on equipment repair? 20 grand this year, and you're only requesting 13. The average was closer to the 13. Is that like the Peterbilt? Didn't it have issues last winter?
Right, they're 340, yeah, right there.
I should have read my glasses. They're new to me, by the way.
You want me to hold it for you?
how old is it here?
We adjusted it to 13,000.
I was just wondering what the spike was this year, Kevin.
The spike was this year, it was the repair to the International. My predecessor, I think, put unrealistic numbers
Okay.
in place. And what I tried to do was, I tried to think as a mechanic and think, okay, what are my big dollar items that might potentially fail? And I have 5 trucks, or 6 pieces of equipment, okay, and then I did an average. Okay, so if I don't spend the $3,000 on the F-550 that we just purchased, that could be utilized on maybe the International. So that's how I came up with that. I did an average, knowing full well that that average isn't the same for every piece of equipment. So that would give us a good solid number to be able to repair anything within. And a little side note, I saved the old transmission from the International because I knew how hard it was to get one. And if anything fails on that truck, it will be the transmission because of the driving. So I have one on the shelf. It'll cost me about $900 to repair and put back in the truck.
How much is a refurbished transmission?
They're non-existent. You can't buy.
Okay,
That's why
well,
I held on.
$900 is cheap money.
Yes. We paid $3,000 for that one. And I
one that's in the truck.
And with synchros and gears, in about a week's time, I can have that built. So we go back. That's what I did at Liberty International. But that truck still has a lot of life left. I don't foresee needing to start putting away for a new a new truck for at least 5 years. And that's including the OE GMC.
Who ordinarily drives that truck?
The
Or is
GMC.
there an ordinarily drive?
The GMC would be,
And the one you're talking about, the international.
that's Peter's truck, which is an awesome driver, by the way. Perfect truck for him.
Yeah. How about the backup cameras?
The backup cameras, I'm still waiting to receive. Apparently they will be back. They're a pretty hot item. They're only $300 a piece. They're Wi-Fi. I'm expecting that. I was expecting them this week, but I was sent an email saying to expect them next week. So
Well, the guys we
Do
got
it.
are used to not having a backup camera.
they are.
We did this back into a woman that was in the blinds.
Yes, exactly. If they come with a monitor, you know, it's Wi-Fi, so I can mount them anywhere on the truck, and I figured that every truck with a sander should have it. So it'd be pretty easy to install because they are Wi-Fi. And they can be put right in the line of sight for the driver, so they don't have to take their eye off the road or their constant swing of vision. As soon as I get them in, they can be installed within 1 hour. So. Makes it real easy. Yeah. Yes.
Subcontractors, 720 line, 13,000. Some of the stuff we're subbing out, I think we should do ourselves. Striping is one.
Roadside mowing, I think was part of that number. Last year we utilized Nutter Enterprises, and that equated to a pretty large bill. I know that the board was not aware of that, but it was utilized last year to remove, to dump stumps from Manville.
Right, oh, no, we,
Okay.
I'll cut that after the fact, 'cause,
Yes.
but I'm just, why are we so high then on the request?
We weren't aware of it until after.
No.
Yeah.
I understand that, but we're still requesting more than we've even spent this year.
That, I think that would cover, like, if we were to use Kenny Partridge for snow removal in the wintertime to expedite things. My whole goal this winter is to try to keep the overtime down on the guys. You know, constant working 90 hours a week is just dangerous. And that's one of my biggest goals this year is to keep that number down. Obviously, if the winter dictates it, then that's what we have to work. But like cleaning up Main Street, where we utilize Kenny Partridge on occasion with his truck and his experience. I think that's all I can remember on that.
Well, the averages over the years were higher as well, and that $1,500 increase was pertaining to the subcontracting out the
The
mowing
mowing,
that we talked about.
I'm just looking, in the last few years, we've bulked up our equipment and all, so I would be thinking we'd be doing less subcontracting and more in-house.
We did,
The,
it was not the mowing, it was that, what do you call it, Catherine?
mower.
The
Yeah.
flails.
That's
Flails.
what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
that was,
Well, we,
Hiring that.
that was a.
That would
How much does it cost to buy one?
Yeah, because the stumps wouldn't have been under that, that would
Yeah,
have been
the
somewhere
flail
else.
mower was like 8,000.
6,500,
Yeah.
So how many years would it take to pay for that and we would still have it?
not many.
Not many. I'm just saying, if we're gonna continue to mow, and I believe that we will, it might be a good thing to think about, we get one, And that way, we don't have to hire somebody else and pay them a profit. Eventually, we own the flail mower and we can keep right on using it for many years to come, right? I
Is
guess-
there any money in this highway budget that would allow us to purchase one this year without raising and appropriating it again?
Tim?
Possibly. I'd have to look to see if there are other things like, I wasn't aware of the cameras that we were doing. So if that's like 1,500 and looking at other things we have to see. But it's possible, it's possible.
Well, keep an eye out,
Yeah, I
that
will.
just makes good financial sense, I think.
That's what I'm doing this time of year, is looking at our year end, evaluating, talking to the department heads, seeing what they've got coming in, still yet to.
And I'm just guessing that flail mower is not going to be any cheaper any time in the future than it will be right now. Because people don't use flail mowers in the winter,
That's correct. Yeah, the
by
other,
March.
the other thing that, my memory serves me correctly, in this line that was costly, we spent more money this year on the street cleaning
Oh, yes.
than we had in prior years. So I think we
Yes,
had more.
and the catch basins.
I had asked, and I don't think I got an answer yet, why it was 4 days, because I think we've done it in 2.
Two, right.
And the route shouldn't have been increased, the route is the route is the route.
Not all of the catch basins were done in the past. And I made it a point that John, who's the oldest employee, go with the truck and make sure that he documents and gets every catch basin on the town property.
How many on
And
state?
he came out and told me that there were some that hadn't been touched in 4 or 5 years. So they're
That's disappointing, I
in
must say.
Which is weird, because he and Fred, I think, used to go around with it.
No, Fred used to.
Fred did, I know, at least in my house, he was out
the
there.
added supervision from myself and pointing out some other catch basins that I know hadn't been touched at the police department and other locations. That's what equated to the 4th day in the added time.
Are we
So
cleaning
basic-
state catch basins?
No.
So we're not doing any catch basins in Lockville?
Silver Lake Road. River Road,
Silver
Church.
Lake Road, I've seen them out, well, I can't swear it's our guys, it could be the state guys. But I've seen those.
Well, you would
they
have seen
clean.
a town truck along with,
I have in the past, but I can't recall this year.
And this year here, it was negotiated that he get paid on a daily basis. So on that 4th day, when he drove down here for an hour's travel for 2 hours worth of work, basically done by noon time, he was still paid all day, which was negotiated by all prices. So there was a lot of, yes, that was an issue. But going forward, that will not be an issue this year. Because I will have constant supervision over the employees, how much material that they spread out, salt, sand, mix, the whole 9 yards, which will reduce our time cleaning up the streets and cleaning up our catch basins. It's almost like a domino effect, which starts basically now through the winter, which will bring savings next year. when we're doing these upkeeps.
Isn't it a pretty fine line to walk with public safety being the goal?
It is, but from what I've noticed over the last 2 years, it can be done without any negative effects to public safety.
Okay,
Okay?
okay,
I'm very confident.
okay.
When we apply salt, and then an hour later, plow it up. Apply salt again, plow it up. Apply salt and sand, and plow it up throughout the course of the night. That's very wasteful as far as I'm concerned. We're not gaining it. Just sharing what I've experienced in the last couple of years.
Okey-dokey.
See,
Highway equipment rental, you have rental of wood for Christmas tree up and down. We don't, I think the lights are still on the tree now, we don't normally take them off. Is that something you're gonna start doing?
The large tree, Catherine?
The large tree, I believe
That's
was
the
done
one that
last.
Asplin volunteered to come back and do?
I'm not sure of that.
I don't know.
I'm not
I was
I'm not sure
asking
of that
about
arrangement
this
because
line item.
That was something that my predecessor had lined up, and I cannot rely on that. So that's basically the cost of the man lift for myself and Pete to go out and pick it.
You wanna just reach out to them because they are local in the community
I can,
and see if that
absolutely.
arrangement is
Is
still,
honored, sure.
is honored?
Sure.
I mean, it's a simple phone call, yes or,
Yes.
you can make it either
Absolutely.
answer yes or no.
And
If
if
they
they
answer
answer-
no, then it's a
Yes,
forklift.
that's great.
I mean,
So-
not a forklift, a scissor lift,
Yes.
yeah.
Shouldn't we first turn the lights on, see the state they're in, and if they're good, we don't need to do it?
90% of the time, you
Yes.
have to replace it,
So,
just to the wind.
Well, I believe what
Yeah.
happened was they trimmed the tree and reset the lights. So with any luck, they did a good job and we'll have to do it this year.
Yeah,
Okay.
But we are prepared to do it a little bit.
yeah.
but the tree is a combination of new light sets, I believe, in the whole, or were all the old ever stripped off?
I'm not sure.
It was talked about once years ago, but I didn't think they were.
I thought last year, it was supposed to be off, when Aspen was going to do it, we put all new ones on because we had the extra ones available.
As I
That was
said,
my
if you, it's hard to tell looking at it.
I wasn't there when
Yeah.
it was being done, so I have no idea what actually took place.
Yeah.
But I thought that was the plan.
So,
Let's just check it out.
Worst case scenario was I have to rent a man lift.
And then great, it gets done.
yeah, but we
It will
don't,
be a Christmas tree.
so we don't normally take the lights off. So
No.
if Asplin did not want to put the lights on or whatever, you'd only need the lift ones, right? So does that mean we can reduce this line? Or are there other things in there? The notes seem to indicate it's just for the lift.
What line are you on, Catherine?
Equipment rental,
370.
because last year was $1, looks like they used 68 or something
The explanation on the attached page.
for this year, so we haven't used the lift yet.
Unfortunately, the budget is for next year, so that will be next December, so we would have to get them to commit unequivocally before, to do it next year.
I think a quick phone call to them, we could, and then just,
I mean, it looks like $1,000 would be a safe amount to put in there from years past.
Okay. The man lift is what, 750 a day?
the other thing quickly, are you aware when you put the lights up over at the island that you can't put it around the
Railing.
the
Yes.
railing?
Yep.
Just so you know, 'cause I'm not there then.
Got enough lights for the island?
Yes.
Got more lights than you need?
Are we
Is the
running,
light bulb
are we
key?
running
I
low
would-
on the lights? We need to send Joe out the end of the year?
Well, at the, after Christmas,
After Christmas.
I get some money if we got it,
Yeah, I remember.
and get 2 for 1, 3 for 1, 4 for 1 lights and stuff like that.
Is this the year we're starting one radio per year?
Yes.
And we didn't spend much time talking about the summer-winter help.
You say you don't need anybody in the winter.
It
I would
says,
say no.
How about the summer?
Summer might be helpful.
Summer, winter help. Kevin,
Yes.
last year was the worst year. I've been here 36 years, 37, somewhere around that, in sidewalk maintenance, winter maintenance. It was horrific, absolutely horrific. We got one story after another after another. And I don't really think that that multi-one, either it's user error or it doesn't have the capacity to do what's needed to be done. So are we on top of trying to get some type of program? You say that you don't want winter help to get, we don't need it because the guys are all on top of everything. Are we really on top of the
Yes, we
the
are.
sidewalks, the schools, downtown?
Yes. I do this without. The former director and foreman,
Mhm.
the last 2 years, didn't do a very good job at delegating work. This year, instead of one person running the sidewalk machine, everybody will have a turn operating the sidewalk machine. So the standing rule is when you're done with your route, you're to come back to the shop, get in the sidewalk machine and tackle a sidewalk somewhere. Also, we have the sidewalk machine and we have 2 snow blowers that are not being utilized. So this year, something that's going to be new is while the sidewalk machine is being utilized near the school, we're going to trailer a snow blower to the other side of town, so Silver Lake, the post office, wherever, and tackle the sidewalks down there as well. Everybody will be busy this year doing something to move forward. Whereas everybody tackling the sidewalks at once, not just one person trying to play hero and do all of the sidewalks by himself. You all know who I'm talking
Mhm.
about. And the other person not enforcing, okay, you get in this one, you get in this one, you take this to the other side of town, you all get it done. That will not happen this year. And everybody is aware of that. John, Billadu, Pete, Wyatt, Rob, myself will be in that sidewalk machine, learning the sidewalks and getting everything done. That's how we're gonna tackle it.
Should be fun watching out your window with the different operators come up that hill.
Well, it was interesting because the other day, last year there was a woman, an elderly woman, senior, that fell downtown. Didn't want to come to town hall to report it, but she did call and said that the sidewalk was icy. Used to own a business downtown years and years and years ago. But I saw her a couple of days ago and she said, I'm getting ready to hunker down for the winter, and I said, well, why? And she explained to me that she can't go any longer downtown in the winter because she's not sure that our Tilton sidewalks. And I said, don't you worry, we've got that covered.
But
And
you
I
can't
did-
expect sidewalks in winter in New Hampshire
It-
to be
And I
without
agree.
ice anywhere.
And I agree with you on that, but last year, even the business owners couldn't keep up with putting salt and sand down there because it was hours and hours and hours of packed down snow with the multi-one. They would drive over with the multi-one downtown, squish it down, and then nobody could clear the sidewalk. And then they would try to come and clear it, and then we got the excuse, well, it's all back down and it's ice. Well, who packed it down to begin with?
Why wouldn't we plow it? Why would we
Because-
pack it down?
Because there was an individual that didn't believe in it, waiting for the snow blower to blow it out, used the plow.
But we've heard that that's gonna change this year.
Yeah, I think so.
So I gave that individual your telephone number down at Public Works and said, don't you worry, you get out this winter.
Anybody can call me.
So I really do believe that it will be changed this year. So I believe in
So Tim, do
you
you,
and the guys.
do
So
you still,
your notes here, I think these are your notes, Public Works?
you can't read them.
So the part-time wages are based on a plan to employ summer and winter part-time help, so we're no longer gonna have the winter
No.
part-time help.
These numbers were, these notes were made prior to me officially taking the position,
Mhm.
and myself trying to learn the budget and trying to fine tune where the numbers should actually be,
Mhm.
to be accurate. At that point in time, I didn't have the confidence that I have now in the guys that I work with. So, so that line of having part-time help definitely could change.
Now, would you leave enough in there? I've heard so many projections for this winter, and I really hate it when,
Yeah.
you know, it's gonna be a very light winter, and usually when you hear that, that means we just get slammed.
Sure.
Would you leave enough in there if you had, because we do have a part-time winter employee actually still on the books?
Yes, I would like.
Would you leave enough
Yes,
to just
absolutely. Because there is
Yeah.
gonna be that. small
nor'easter
list.
after nor'easter after nor'easter?
Absolutely.
Oh,
I'd rather
please,
have-
Captain.
Hey, more snow is much more warming than less snow, as long as you know that. When there's less snow, it's really
Yeah, try
cold.
driving in it though.
My philosophy has always been prepared for the worst.
Okay, all right.
So
So,
if we can leave that,
the-
that's
Enough
great.
with the escort going.
I didn't say
But I also know that the budgeting and next year's numbers being so bad or so off is bad as well, so.
Oh, yeah, no. But so you will adjust the overtime wage and we'll get a new figure there?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to
So
revise there.
overtime, you adjust, okay.
This is very nice.
Oh,
I'm in part-time.
no, wait a minute, overtime and part-time, you'll adjust? Or just part-time?
Just part-time.
Just part-time.
You
Yes,
can look at them both.
yeah.
Okay.
Finance officer, talking about projections, highway, gas, diesel, on the notes, anticipating higher per gallon fuel costs. What's the market done in the last week?
Down 7%.
What's the barrel,
Oh,
price
yeah.
per barrel now?
They're gonna go
$56.
up.
Oh my God.
This is,
Today, next week, who knows? Next
Everyone
month, who
watch
knows?
the news, we're about to really make
Wait a
the
minute,
group really angry.
MSNBC, they said it's gonna plummet this past couple of weeks, and then it's gonna go up to about 14%. It's gonna plummet down and go up to 14% within the next 2 months, so here you go.
I'm glad I'm burning.
Gas and
it.
diesel.
There's no answer for this one.
No.
No, historically, it continues to climb up, and there's ups and downs, but I
Right.
remember $4 a gallon.
So what's,
And I don't remember things that good, but I remember $4 a gallon.
for gas?
Yeah.
Man, I remember 27 cents a gallon.
25 here is my cheapest.
well, the risk we run is, in spite of the recent, change, which I agree with Selectman Fogg, I mean, it's plummeted in the last week. But inflation, we are seeing the effects of inflation in general. We're seeing higher prices on a number of different things. And just because of the economic activity, I wouldn't doubt that with the way energy prices fluctuate, that we would see higher prices at some point during 2019. It's very possible. Or we could be in for a recession and bottoming out. Who knows?
Well, using your increase, you're at almost 27% increase.
Well, this was, when we were sitting down talking about this, what Director Duval had thought was that we're going to have a lot more use of the equipment. And the increased equipment use was accounting for a good portion of that fuel increase. Is that right?
Yes.
That's to say that we haven't been using the equipment? He asked.
They have some equipment we never had.
Well, that's true.
Now,
So, back to overtime.
yeah, thank you. Go ahead.
If I look back on what was budgeted before, I don't know what happened in 2017, but it's frightening. But if we look at this past year, the 4200, and then 52,341. So this 4201 would be January, February, March. And then a little bit in the 54,341. do you think that if we're going to manage overtime more, do you think that 45,000 might be a little high?
I'd like to think that it was high, but again, I have to prepare for the worst. And if we have a bad winter, then we have that coverage.
But if we look at like 3 and 5 year averages, weren't those including one more additional employee than we are currently
Yes.
staffed?
Is it something you could look at, play with the numbers again?
Yes, I'd be happy to.
Well, if we had one other employee, wouldn't that make the overtime go up? Because we had a regular employee that was covering some of the shift.
Oh, it's kind of a
I
management.
think, I want to give that.
No, it depends. If he's utilizing them more effectively, that's why he doesn't need the
Hopefully,
additional winter person.
as long as we can find the money if we need it.
We've got some extra for subcontractors if we could.
You don't wanna cut yourself short on the overtime, because then you'll be digging for money.
Yeah, no, I don't. No, I'd like to keep that there.
However, we had 5 employees last year, correct? Including the foreman, not including the public works director. We had 5 employees, right? And we're at 5 this year, correct? So where's the difference?
There is no difference. Before that, we had an extra guy, the Jack guy.
We had a director before that too.
Well, you've got 2 as 1. Yeah,
5 plus
right. 4 plus the
This year.
director now.
but
Well, last year you had 6 public works employees. This year you have 5, including everybody.
That's right.
Okay. So,
I'm always safe to keep that in there.
okay.
I don't,
I have a question for the finance officer. Road construction and sidewalk construction, do we need to leave these in this budget matrix since we, and maybe it's partly for the public works director, because we have reserve funds for those monies, do we not?
Yes, but in order to spend, you really need to keep a dollar in the line, even if it's coming from a capital reserve.
For what?
You should.
What was that?
For road construction
Oh,
and
yeah.
sidewalk construction.
So you can pull the money out of the account.
Or if you were taking a portion of it out of the capital reserve account and wanted to make a budget transfer from another line where you had extra money,
Okay.
that would allow that. Otherwise, you'd be limited to the capital reserve fund only.
You know, and also too, there was something with DRA that said that we needed to keep that line open. That we had to have a line item in order to be able to drag monies in and out of that.
I ask this question every year, so it's out there.
Okay, good. Now, street lighting, every year we go over street lighting, Catherine, we've been here for a long, long time, and we say, every year, we're gonna develop some type of process where either the board and Public Works work together, or we have a committee or something that goes over our list and say, do we need these streetlights, do we don't need these, are we being paid for these streetlights, we're not being paid? Point taken over there on Tryon Lane, there's one there's a streetlight over there
It's not ours.
that,
Are you talking about the one on the building?
yeah, it's not
It's
ours.
private, it's not even charged, it's not even a street light. It was connected to the building by the property owner.
Okay, so, you know, we don't know what we're being charged with and what we're not. And our street light bill, if you notice what's being paid in our monthly manifest, are going up, not down. In street lighting, since now when they go out and they're changing to the new bulb, should be going down, not up.
But don't they charge us for that retrofit?
No, they shouldn't be. They haven't, they
Save
shouldn't.
some money, we just.
I don't
pay for
know.
the price
That's why I'm
of the
asking.
pole that's lit.
Right, we pay for
So when they
the
do
power
something
that,
to save
and
money,
it should be less money, not more money. So they came to do one on Maple Court, and then one on High Street. It's nice and bright and the whole bit, but you're paying more money now it's actually using more power.
No, you
Look at
said less
Riverfront
power.
Park, didn't you folks change to,
Mhm.
you're actually using more.
That's counterintuitive, because it's supposed to be cheap.
You-
The light bill
Third.
dropped for
We're spending
Riverfront,
about a third of what we used to light the park.
yeah. That dropped
When the
considerably.
heater's not malfunctioning in the storage room,
Right.
frying the,
We need to take a look at this, though. We need to try to either form a committee or
We should form a
Work on
committee because
works
there's a lot of work to
in
be
the
done
summer.
there.
But we're gonna get the
A
people.
lot of work to be done there. You've got to identify all the poll numbers, who owns it, and then
We have a list of-
decide whether it stays on or not. If you drive Route 3 like I do,
yeah,
and Joe does, there's a lot of lights. I wonder why is the town of Tilton paying for these lights to be
right.
on?
Just random lights out in the middle of what's.
So we have
appears to
5
be no-
selectmen, we kind of all live in different places. We could all take a neighborhood, walk our neighborhood, write the poll numbers down and so on and so forth, and say, do we need this, we don't need this?
We should start doing that, see what we have in the spring.
And then look at the manifest when it comes in and say, okay, circle this.
Well, they're not broken out by poll number. You do actually have an energy committee.
Well,
Norm Woodrow's on that, isn't he?
Selectman
No,
Scanlon
I am.
Right.
And
Selectman St. John was on it. I don't know if someone else was appointed to it.
So storm drains, we haven't raised and appropriated any money since what, 2017 for storm drains? Why is that?
apparently they're all in perfect order, Catherine.
where did
Well,
the
my-
money come to fix the storm drain on Linden Avenue last year?
I think that was probably part of the road
It'd be road
construction.
materials,
Well, we didn't fix the
probably,
road, it
and
was just it was, you mean taken out of the budget road construction?
Yeah, I don't know, I'm guessing,
Yeah,
but that's a very good question.
the cleaning of the storm drains has been charged to subcontractors
Yeah,
because we use a subcontractor.
But
We actually
we
built-
don't have any storm drains we ever have to repair.
oh yeah, we do. Look at the one up on what, Windsor, or not Windsor, up, yeah, where Hawkins up there on the hill.
so what's the
Scenic.
definition of line sub?
Yeah, scenic.
That would be for the, I would think for the construction and repair of,
Not maintenance, just.
not cleaning. The clean, well, unless we were doing the cleaning ourselves and doing that service work, in which case, that would make sense to charge it to that line.
So you're gonna go back and tweak this a little bit?
You can always,
can you break the subcontractor down how much to each?
Sure. Yeah. You want a report of who we paid
What's
for?
was it D-Day for that?
No big rush.
When was the,
Actually, more than a week, because next week's Thanksgiving.
until January, right? Like we could, Kevin could actually make some changes if he saw something that he needed to lessen.
Yes.
We could accept them right up
We'll go through it again and we'll take another.
Don't we have a date that, we already
It's in
set a
the-
date to go before the budget committee? Was that in January? Is that the date you're talking about?
I think it was before then, but
I think it's
We-
December.
It should be in December.
I think it's sometime in December that you go before the budget.
There's not a set date.
Oh, they're behind a
I'm
week
aware.
now.
we call a date set up, right?
So not the select.
I just have a question, probably Tim, it's for you. Demo material removal?
Yep.
Is that our, 2 days a year? Or
It
does
costs-
that,
No, it's
is
throughout the
it more
year.
than that?
I have to, I've got to do some allocation for that for this year.
So my question is, under unaudited expense for 2018, as of 10/31/18, I assume that didn't include the cleanup costs for that cleanup week that was what, just before that?
Oh, that's correct.
Okay. I was gonna say, boy, we didn't use much this year.
No.
Okay. Tried. The summer person, could you talk a little bit more about what you would anticipate the summer person doing?
Helping out with maintenance at Riverfront Park, helping out with mowing and maintaining the cemeteries, maintaining the building and the town hall itself, and the senior center. There are some things that have been neglected, painting and things of that nature that have been neglected. Some of them would be detrimental in helping with those duties.
You mean, getting someone extra to do that?
Yes, a part-timer in the summer to help out with those
I
maintenance
don't,
issues.
I'm in disagreement with that,
Okay.
because I think we can get prison people to do that
Well,
than to hire someone.
There's
to
an
do
issue
that.
with the prison people.
Okay,
Okay, he has 5 or 6 guys, and he wants every guy outfitted in the summer. So this past fall, I had to supply 2 chainsaws, 5 rakes, 5 barrels, a trailer, and when he was painting at the town hall, he wanted 5 of everything. 5 rollers, 5 trays, 5 buckets, 5 ladders, you name it. And that's extreme as far as I'm concerned.
if they wanted to do a pressure washer, then there's not gonna be 5 pressure washers on a ram, right?
He would ask for it.
He would.
And every one of these guys is busy doing something. That has been my experience with the prisoners.
Oh,
So
That's
they would
why-
be better utilized on a project like we had them cutting the brush where,
Where the only cost is fuel, basically, because I'm supplying
right.
the tools that are already paid for. But
Does he allow them to be, so if they all came up on one day, would he allow them to be doing some work here, some work at Public Works?
No, he needs to
He
supervise.
needs to supervise, was answering my own question, but just want to be sure.
Yes. I questioned supplying power tools to these people, and he said that his crew is very trustworthy and that he has no issues with them wielding chainsaws and things of that nature. So I guess
They're all minimum security, low sentence
yeah.
individuals who are trying to get their lives together, so.
And that's the gist of what my interactions with the prisoners have been very good. They're very respectful, very well mannered.
I got to talk to them when they were painting downstairs. We had a good conversation.
Yes.
So you can do specific projects require a bunch of people to do things, but
Yes.
to go and fix this here or work on that there
No,
on a
it's-
daily basis.
Small projects would make sense.
Tackle.
It's like if you used them to seal the doors,
I wouldn't.
5 of
no,
them
I
all
don't-
painting the door at the same
I
time.
wouldn't use them to seal the doors.
No, it would make sense, would it?
I said, I'm not sure if I would trust that quality of work.
How about repointing the brick?
There you
So
go.
maybe taking the bricks out.
Scavenging's always been the issue out there.
2 walls, Joe?
All right. All right, well, you're gonna take this and revise it, and we can discuss more about your summer help,
Yes.
Bush.
Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna
thank
be,
you.
we're gonna
Nice,
be looking over,
Nice
part-time-
presentation. Thank you.
part-time wages, equipment rental, uniforms, and I'm gonna get a breakdown of some contractors also put on.
Now, you want to have a brief non-public?
Yes,
Personnel.
please.
So I'm going to,
You don't need me for that.
did anybody anything else, Tim?
Did we have another non-public?
Nope. Just one. Okay, so we're going, I'm going to make a motion that we go into non-public as per RSA 91-A:3, paragraph 2, C. Matters which discuss the public likely affect the reputation of any person or any other member of the body knows such person's requests in the open meeting, and so on.
second.
A second, and a roll call vote,
Constantine,
and Fogg,
Yes.
and Dawson,
Jessamine,
Yes,
yes.
Dawson, yes.
Justin, and Scanlon, yes.
Last week was alphabetical, so I was passing. This week we're going down.
We are red, it's on. This time I'd like to seal the minutes of the non-public session as they pertain to personnel issues permanently.
Second.
We have a motion and a second seal the minutes of the non-public session as they pertain to personnel issues permanently. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right.
I have a question.
Opposed? So moved.
Even though we went into non-public as reputation, but we come out and seal personnel.
Well, that was personnel, but that was the definition of personnel.
Reputation of a personnel,
No, we went in for reputation.
the reputation of personnel.
C.
We
Okay,
weren't reprimanding,
right,
firing, or hiring personnel.
okay.
So
So
it was
it's still
repu-
considered personnel?
Sure.
Okay. Just trying to clarify.
This conversation will help.
Thank you.
Good night, Kevin.
Yeah,
Good night,
thank you.
Gary. Nice job on your first budget.
Thank you. Tweak it a little bit.
Very nice.
That's a good job. Good explanation.
Well, moving right along here.
Yes.
We have selectmen's reports.
Limit to one each.
Well, I have one in an FYI. The FYI
Be
is
silenced.
real important.
Okay.
And we'll start, I think we started with you last week. Go down. Pat, are you ready? I go up right. You know, we could start right in the middle. We'll start with-
Last night I went to the Northfield Economic Development Council meeting at the Highland Bike Park. The topic for the speaker was retaining young people in the workforce and getting them to stay around after high school and college, and the challenges that that presents, not just jobs, but training and housing and childcare and all the various parts to that. Everybody was very nice. Jeannie Forrester was there as well, and a good time was had by all. The food was great. That's it. That's all.
Next. When you're ready, raise your hand.
I'll give mine to Catherine.
FYI, and this is especially for you because I know you use the town car. There is a hesitation when you step on the gas before the transmission engages, and I did mention it to Kevin. But it's just maybe 3 seconds, 4 seconds, but it's just long enough, so if you're pulling out into traffic, it's like, wow, I got nothing to
See, it didn't do that when Kevin and I went to Manchester the other day in that car. So
It
it's
did
a
it
new
to
thing.
me, it's done it to me, when have I used it? Yesterday or Tuesday? I don't know. It did it to me this morning when I went out and it.
Yeah, that should be.
Oh, it was yesterday, okay, so it was yesterday and it was today.
Transmission slipping.
Well, it could be just fluid.
Could be.
So what you're saying is floor it, so when it does go, you'll be able to move.
I'm just saying, don't look for that little narrow window and pull into it. Make sure you've got a great big picture patio window because you're gonna get.
It's called the lunch window. I used to do it quite a long time, so the RPMs get up there before you.
The other thing I wanted to talk about was committees and our procedures. So last night, the budget committee meeting was canceled because the chairman couldn't make the meeting. So the chairman canceled it. The meeting should never have been canceled. The budget committee agreed to their schedules and to their meetings, so that majority of budget committee members should have been the ones to cancel a meeting. I was going to attend.
I was coming.
There were 3 outside agencies were going to attend. So just because one member can't attend a meeting is not a criteria to cancel a meeting.
Does the chairman know that now?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm sure that probably wasn't realized. A lot of our committees don't understand the dynamics. So I think that we should
Catherine, I
create.
think I had something to do with that. I think I played a part in that. Can you hear me?
I think your mic's off.
I think I had a part in that. Jane was very, very sick,
Mhm.
and so she knew that the vice chair was out, and knew another member was out as well and was not going to attend. So there wasn't going to be a chair or a vice chair and another member as well, and didn't know what to do and asked my opinion. And I gave my opinion, and so I apologize, because after you wrote what you did in the email, then I kind of understood it. I was in the moment at the time, wasn't feeling well myself, and I said, you better let the people know that are coming, let Johanna know to make the arrangements for the outside agency.
Which she did.
Because there wasn't going to be a quorum, and the chair knew that, but other
Well-
people that weren't attending didn't know that there wasn't going to be a quorum.
Aren't there 7 budget committee members?
Yeah.
So
but the-
-3 is still a quorum.
Yeah.
Provided
And
all of
even,
us
and
show
my
up.
understanding is, because I asked, because I was just really curious, evidently they don't have a vice chair, at least not on record. But they don't need a
Well,
vice chair.
they do have a vice chair. 'Cause-
Well, they don't need to have it on record. If they
Right, but
came to
she's
the
out of
meeting,
town.
well, let's say the vice chair and the chair were both out. That
Right.
doesn't mean they can't conduct a meeting, that just means they come together, and for that meeting, they appoint a chair.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you, that's where I was in error, because
okay.
I gave her the
Well, I
wrong
suspected-
information on that.
Something.
Right.
But as I said, we have, it's not just budget committee, this
I
happens with other committees. So what I'm suggesting is that we create a procedure. Now, they're an elected committee, the budget
That'd be a good
committee.
idea, I think.
So
that's a
I
great
don't
idea.
know as we can say, this is how you will conduct your meetings, but at least it will help them. And the budget committee could certainly take a procedure that we came up with and adapt it for their own. But I think we should do that. And I did find online, Chesterfield, New Hampshire, and there were only 2 communities I could find
Where?
in the state.
Chesterfield.
Chesterfield has a budget committee meeting procedure. So I salute you, Chesterfield, New Hampshire. So I'm gonna give it to Gail to help with the template. Because that really shouldn't take place.
I agree with you.
So,
So, and I apologize for my part in it, but I didn't, it was, in the moment, I didn't feel well as well, and 2 feet of water in my cellar, and
oh,
trying to deal with that, so
I have
You know, knowing that there wasn't I was really unsure if there wasn't a chair and a vice chair, because we had the situation here just a couple of weeks ago, and a member was able to take over as Joe,
I had the power for 30 seconds.
but
Well,
we
you
didn't
can
know
do
if
that.
there was going to be a quorum, so I guess the main concern was to have those outside agencies show up and be embarrassed that there wasn't anybody here for them.
Well, as I said, if there were 3 members that weren't gonna show up, that would be 4 for a quorum. And this is for the budget committee, but I guess I'll make this board aware that Joe is the representative from the Lochmere Water District, which he can no longer be,
Why?
because 2 selectmen cannot serve on.
Now, I asked that right at the very
No,
beginning.
it can be.
I asked it
I
right at
just-
the very beginning,
I,
because I don't represent the selectmen on any level.
That's right.
the RSAs, and I've looked it up twice today because I was asked. I
Yeah.
looked it up twice.
Okay?
2 selectmen cannot serve on a board where there is an ex officio member of the Board of Selectmen.
Even though I don't serve as a
Wait, I'm
selectman.
confused.
2 selectmen cannot be on the same board where there's supposed to be an ex officio member.
They're not.
So I suggest that, because we've got a couple of weeks, that a query go out to the local government center.
Because I'm
Because that's
appointed by
actually-
the Water Commission at Lochmere Village District.
Right.
And I'm not serving as a selectman per se. I
He's
am a
serving as the-
selectman,
Right.
but
He's serving as a representative to the water
To the water.
commissioners.
The law did not make a
the
condition.
distinction.
It just simply said, and that came from the local
They
government
cannot
center's
serve on the
website.
budget committee?
Yeah,
2
Wait, Joe, are you on the
selectmen.
budget committee?
yeah, technically.
How are you on the budget committee?
I was appointed by the Lockmere Village District. The
Representative
law
Lockman.
says that the village district will have an appointed member, and they chose me because I knew more about the process than either of the other two people that are on the committee.
And it is a full voting, active member of the budget
Yes.
committee.
That's correct.
So-
As a
That's
water
That
commission.
is a very interesting predicament.
That was one of the things at my very
Once
first
again-
meeting.
He
that I
did
brought
ask
up.
that question.
I don't remember.
Sure.
But if I can't, then I
Right.
won't. I mean,
Yeah, I
sir,
remember you asking that
because
question.
I was going to resign. Oh, you don't need to resign because you're not
Right.
serving as a selectman.
Right.
Okay, I guess.
Guess it was-
Would it
So,
be time that we
Good.
should address having 7 members on the budget committee and not, 5 members, not 7?
What happened was, is we had members of the budget committees serving on other committees that they couldn't.
Right.
And it's a little more complicated than what I just stated, but that's what it was. I know, because I discovered it when I was looking something else up.
Didn't that change last year?
Joyce corrected it with a warrant article for town meeting.
Right, okay.
Hence, we discovered that we needed to have a representative from the Lockmere Water District, because it's wholly located within the town of Tilton, a representative on our budget committee.
Which is why Joe is now serving on the budget committee, but now he
But as
is
a representative from Lockwood.
as a representative from Lockmere
Right,
Water Commissioners.
right.
That's what he serves on the Tilton
I
Budget
am
Committee.
indeed a commissioner.
He is
Okay,
a
we said
commissioner,
that 1,000 times.
and that's, when he sits at the budget committee table, he is a water commissioner.
Right.
And a selectman.
I am a selectman,
And
so
he
there's
is
the
also a
question.
selectman.
There's the
So
question.
Catherine, it's only
the-
districts, not commissions?
So the question is,
That's what I was looking at.
so the question to the local government center is,
Because he's a selectman, even though he's not acting in that part.
in that
can he still-
capacity,
can he
because
still
we
serve?
have an ex officio and an alternate ex officio
It's because
selectman appointed to that position,
the law doesn't make an exception.
does,
It specifically says that 2 ex officio selectman members cannot serve
so
on the
we're
same
just trying to
board.
get the question for
Be an ex
Gail
officio.
to
So is
Catherine.
John an ex officio as well?
I am an ex officio member I am the.
As a board of
You can't have
selectmen.
2 selectmen
I-
serving on the same
I-
board where there's
Your-
an ex
The
officio
question
member.
is, John, I am the ex officio
Right.
member on the budget committee,
Right.
and we do have a
representing the
standby
board of selectmen.
representing the board of selectmen.
Which is not me.
And Peter is the alternate.
Okay, the law says you cannot have 2 selectmen on a committee where there is an ex officio selectman member.
So now you see how you can word that to the,
I would ask him very simply, we have 2 selectmen serving on the budget committee, one is an ex officio, one is representing the Lockmere Village Water District. Can they both serve on the budget committee? Let them fill in the blanks.
Let me ask
Works
this,
for me.
so could Joe be the ex officio selectman as well as representing Lockmere?
Probably not.
If I was not on it?
Probably not.
Then what would you
Still
do?
one vote.
Then you would give up budget committee altogether?
Budget committee go on to another
But
committee. just
isn't there a
let's-
selectman that has to be on the budget committee?
Yeah.
Yes, there has to be an
Whether
ex
it's
that's-
you or
officio.
somebody else.
No,
He
let
can't
me,
hold 2 positions, he can only hold.
let
One
me
person can
rephrase
have
what
one
your
position.
question was, would it work if Joe was the ex officio selectman and also representing the
No.
Lockman.
Lockmere
I
district?
don't think so.
No.
Well, that's a
Because
good
then I should
question.
represent the board of
You only
selectmen.
have one position.
Then I would be representing the board of selectmen,
Why?
because I would be the.
Well, you can't have it both ways.
You
That,
have to read 32.
ask LGC that question.
I mean,
Why am I
you
asking?
say you can't, but where did it say that you can't be an ex
Chapter
officio?
32, and there's another RSA, I can't remember the number of
I've
it.
got quotes.
That has to do with, oh my God, I can't remember the word they use.
Okay.
So if we can look that up
It's not contrary.
Get a decision.
and get a decision.
You know where we're
I mean,
going,
it's not that
Gail,
I'm
with it,
trying to
right?
I think of a way to
Okay.
get this.
Anytime I want to come and have input from the audience, I know that I'll be listened to in time. So even if I don't get a vote, it wasn't about, it was being a representative to the water district, which is a basic pass-through. Only by law does it say we will have.
It's not a pass-through budget?
We present the budget, it goes through the town and into the water district. It's not like the town has any more than the sewer district.
The sewer this, not a sewer district,
It's a
the sewer budget is
whatever it is.
completely different, it is not a pass-through either.
So,
Fun.
anything else?
Not for me, that was my FYI and my one thing. I can come up with more.
No, we're good. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, so you're good? Yeah.
I do, I have something. I would like to,
Okay.
I would like to say, welcome back, Gail. You were missed,
Thank you.
very missed, number one.
I'll pay you later.
And I would like to wish all of the town employees and staff and our employees in the town of Tilton a very happy Thanksgiving, because we're not going to be here next week. We'll see you the following week. And what's that?
Motion to Peter. I'm
Well,
sorry. I didn't
We
mean to
can't make
distract
motion to Peter.
She was waving.
So that's all I have.
All I have, we had on Route 140, we had the spur dealer, Peter stepped in and gave some information, as well as I drove up and met with Scott
you.
Ives,
Hmm?
great guy, and saw that, and Johanna helped, as well as Jeannie, to get, and you stepped into, yeah, that's right. So everybody worked together, and they got a sawhorse up there, and they're going to be fixing this week. There was a large storm, not a storm drain, a manhole cover that part of the Winnipesaukee Coast Line project
Sinkhole.
there, that all around it had broken apart, and sunk in, and was filled in, and right in his driveway where the brand-new vehicles dropped down like this far.
The cause was that tie-in, John.
So,
Look at the side.
yeah, well, so anyway, he was very ecstatically happy that so many people jumped right in to help him out, and
It
he
wasn't
wasn't
even our
expecting
problem.
it. And it wasn't his problem, and he was surprised,
And
and
it
he
wasn't
said,
our problem.
is there anything that he can do for the town of Tilton that he'd love to help out, participate in?
Can we bank
Does he
that?
live in town?
Oh, well, I asked him if he had a
We'll get one
WRX on the
today.
lot that I could take for a spin, which he didn't, but, so, yeah.
My experience
So,
showed me he's
So do we know what caused that?
It's very nice.
They're
Peter
take care of
does.
it. It just, stuff happens, and it's not our thing, but we all pointed in the right direction and showed our concern and as group effort and everything, and everybody. So, reaching out to the business owners. is
I would
really
bag
good.
that for the 150th, though.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's just bank that.
Oh,
We'd
yeah.
love to have.
I told him about the 150th,
Mhm.
and I told him about the Christmas parade.
Yeah,
He wants to participate.
very nice.
Very good.
I always throw that in there. But that's all I have.
I have one more FYI. So I was asked about our policy for employees and snow days. And I guess we don't have one because it's not in here, but this one is 2015 and I don't have any amendments we made
That's
to it.
the one that's-
So when we have a day, let's say tomorrow, we wake up in the morning, the roads are actually horrendous, and we close town hall, do our employees get paid for not coming in?
Mhm.
Okay, I didn't
There-
do
There's a
that.
state law.
If we call it, yeah,
There's a state law on Department of Labor on.
yeah, if we call it, it's,
I don't know.
if we say,
I was asked, I didn't have an answer,
yeah, if we,
and I looked through this, and there's nothing in here.
usually if we say don't, right,
Make it specific. Okay.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, hang
I see the
on, you
state
have
law.
one, you have one right there, right? And it states it?
No, there's nothing in here. That's why I'm.
John brought that up last year,
What's the
and
state
we
law?
looked at it last year, and we looked at it with the Labor, Department of Labor. We make that phone, if we make that call and we say, we're gonna close town hall today, we make that decision, then they get paid.
I disagree
We've
with
never
that.
done
I
it.
don't- That's not true.
Yeah, we have.
No, it's the town administrator's done it. We have
Not
not.
the time. The-
Oh, no, we've done it.
I,
Yes, we have, I've done it.
I've never
when
voted,
I
I've
was
never
the chair,
made
I
a
always
vote,
looked up the
yea or
town
nay on
administrator.
that, so I don't know what we're talking about.
John, if you said there's a state law, can we get a copy of that?
you
labor
can
law?
look up the Department of Labor, and I believe if people show up for work, that you have to pay them for 4 hours.
But
minimum.
what if they don't show up? We
If
say,
work is
don't come
canceled,
in.
then they can take a vacation day or
Okay, so
unpaid,
can we
and that's the
have,
thing.
can we
So that's-
create
We'll get something.
a written
And I-
policy?
I think you should be doing it according to what the labor law is in the state
I
of New
agree.
Hampshire. And that's, until we have a policy, it should be the state, whatever the state law is, so.
I have no idea
And
what's.
previously, and I think Pat reminded me once, last year, you know, John, usually it's the chairman and the town administrator.
Yep. Usually we leave it up to the town administrator because they're the ones that,
I thought it was the board's decision.
You
We
can't
don't have
official
any
meeting.
formal,
you don't,
there's nothing formal. It's
sometimes you
very
really
informal.
can't get in touch with all of them all the time, Peter, that's
I
why.
understand, but what is happening is you're giving out more basically paid time off.
No, we're not, we're gonna do what the state law says and keep people safe.
What are
What
we
we've
gonna
been
do
doing
to-
to date is they've been getting paid, John. so
What are
that's-
you going to do tomorrow if the weather is so
If you-
inclement that the governor or state police declare stay home?
They
It's a
get
horrible
paid.
day. What are we going to do?
Whatever the state
They get
of New
paid.
Hampshire Department of Labor,
Okay, so we got
and the
contrary
policy
here.
is.
You're contradicting each other. You're saying if they don't make it to work, no pay.
No, I'm saying whatever the state
Well,
law
what
says.
is that?
That we're gonna have to look that up.
I think she's asking in the interim,
Yeah.
as of tomorrow, what is it?
According to RSA 275:43-A, this section should not, no.
I know. it's-
No employer who makes it, no, it says specifically,
I remember reading
it says that we don't have to pay. We don't have to
it.
pay.
If people show up for work and they're sent home, you have to pay them for a minimum of 4 hours.
Yeah, actually it says 2 hours,
It
but
says 2 hours.
either way, you have to pay them.
And if they work more than 4 hours, I think it's,
Well, I kind of be inclined for tomorrow,
No
that we
employer-
continue what we have been doing, and then we'll have time, hopefully, to notify our employees that we are adopting a policy based on state law, whatever, and this is what it will be.
And Jeannie and Gail can get that policy in place.
And we'll be here tomorrow anyways, because she's got four-wheel drive Monday morning, so there you go.
it should, it
The
should,
question should be, the
And Kim has to be here
tax
because
collector isn't here to make that decision whether town hall should be closed. Besides, it has to be, they have to let the state know. So I would be more concerned about their office.
But if the state makes that decision and Kim is closed,
Right.
because the state makes that decision, then
Right, and it's up to us, the Board of Selectmen, to close town hall, not the clerk or the tax collector. If we close town hall, she can opt, because she's an elected official, to still be open.
what's gonna happen though, because Cindy's at a conference.
Right.
So what's gonna happen tomorrow if the state closes their offices?
Well, then that office will
The
have to be
state never
closed.
closes their offices unless it's a state of
Right,
emergency.
I don't think tomorrow's gonna be that kind of a day.
No,
The governor very rarely.
I'm not planning to have school tomorrow.
5 or 6 inches
No,
of snow.
the school calls off for
Anyway,
a lot less, but
so
anyway,
we'll figure it out.
we've got,
so
that name.
do we do
So
the,
you'll figure it out, we don't have to worry about it, right?
so what's gonna happen tomorrow if it's bad?
I say we do what we've been
Leave
doing,
it up to Jeannie and
and then
Gail.
get it figured out, so our employees aren't
Well,
all
they
set.
asked the Board of Selectmen before, they asked, I know I got the call, and who else is, you as board chairman got the call? So-
I used to call everyone and say, what do you think? And then as many as I could get, and then everybody would say, yeah, go ahead. and they got paid. That's what been our practice. It's always been our practice. And then sometimes we couldn't get anybody. It was always the town administrator's decision to err on the side of safety for our employees, and then it would be let them go early or whatever. But and they've been paid, so it's never been a huge issue. No, and I don't think it's been a
No, but we should have
situation,
policy
but
in
we
place.
really should have some type of a written policy. There's so many things now that we need, that's recognized that we need to have that policy, and they're working on it, so I think we should go ahead and do what we've been doing, and then give them a little bit of time to work on it. Until then, do what we're doing. That's my
And
opinion.
I think,
And let's
any-
just hope we don't get 4 days.
Yes.
I think the
Oh,
key
I'm
thing
hoping.
is that anytime any employee does not feel safe driving into work because of snow, we will not penalize them for it or take any type of
That
action.
should be in there,
Isn't that what PTO's for?
because there is
Anytime.
language in here about
I
this
think
one.
PTO or whatever.
If they don't,
Nobody's gonna say,
if they don't have it, we won't penalize
Oh,
them
there you
for it.
go.
yeah.
I've
There
already,
you go, unpaid.
when I was chair, the only time I
Awesome.
closed town hall is when the state put out an issue that said, everybody stay home.
Wasn't that back when they had rollers?
Joseph,
Like a Flintstone car.
Right.
They used that on the sidewalks last winter.
I got a picture of it.
I have one last thing, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
So moved. All in favor?
Let the record show, 6:35.
There you go, I was waiting for the rest of that.
You're looking patch.
The patch they did at Burger King?
Yeah.
Stay safe out there,
Thank you.
y'all.
That's absolutely
Oh, they
pathetic.
just took